Morning, everybody. It is Friday morning. It is the end of July. How is that possible? How can the end of July be here already? Unbelievable. My dog Ozzy is wanting some loving this morning. As you can see, I'm coming to you live today, but I'm coming to you live from my home. We've got some plans today. Won't allow me to get into the office, and we'll get into that in a second. But I'm really excited about my day today. Super excited. And last week I talked about it. There are people that don't like the words super and excited together, which is just weird. It's like people who don't like to celebrate things. I don't get it, right? If we have a reason to celebrate or we have a reason to be super excited, we ought to share those things. I raised my kind of cup of donkey to you this morning. I hope you guys are off to a good start. It is going to be brutal out there today, folks. Listen, it's the season, right? Yeah, not summer. Yes, I love fall. Not those seasons. It is trade season in Major League Baseball. It is Women's World Cup season. And more importantly, yesterday was day one to my Las Vegas Raiders winning the Super Bowl season. Yesterday, training camp opened up, and I spent the morning just listening and reading about what we could take from day one of training camp. And yes, I'm that guy. Anyhow, I get pretty excited about those kinds of things. Listen, so we've got a really, really cool day today. One of those days where, well, I shouldn't say it's a cool day. It's actually going to be a hot day. We're going to be using bucket fans, and we're going to be using those blue cooling towels and all those kinds of things because we get to watch my son Camden play baseball today. He plays in a 3-day tournament, and it's local, and we're not going to Atlanta. We're not going to Charlotte. We're not traveling. We're traveling 30 minutes from here. He plays this morning at Broughton High School. He'll play tonight at Duke University, tomorrow morning at Duke University. But here's the best one. Tomorrow night, we play at the original Durham Bulls Athletic Park. How cool is that? Super, super excited about that one. Anyhow, listen, Cam, come here. Cam's in here right now. Come here, buddy. Everybody do me a favor. Wish him good luck today. That's my boy right here. Yes, sir. So we are going to have to find creative ways to stay cool. We'll have the Common Real Estate Group tent on full display, but those cooling towels may come in handy today. We'll bring a bucket of ice just to have ice. You know what I mean? Anyhow, really, really pumped about that. Listen, I posted something on an not internal. We have a private group page that we have for people that we're trying to attract to our city, that kind of thing, right? And on there, I just shared something called For Richer or Pour Over. And I love that. My wife drinks pour-overs, by the way. If you don't know what a pour-over is, we're talking about coffee. Yes, I drink Donkey, and I brew it fresh every day, but a lot of people, a little more bougie. It used to be everybody loved a French press, and honestly, I like a good French press on occasion, too. But pour-overs are all the rage right now. That's what all the trendy young people and my wife are doing, and I didn't mean it the way that sounded. As soon as I said it, I realized that didn't sound right. But all the hip people are using pour-overs, or drinking pour-overs. But the reason I mention this is because Wallet Hub has just come out with a new report. They went ahead and looked at the top 100 largest cities in the United States and ranked them as the most coffee-friendly cities in the country. And Raleigh ranks on there at number 40 as a city that has great coffee options, cool coffee shops, roasters, things of that nature. And so, while to me, real good coffee is Dunkin' Donuts, some other people like locally brewed or roasted coffees. So I was going to give you some of the rankings, right? Number 1 coffee city in America. If I could do drum roll, I would do that. San Francisco. Number 2, and I believe this one has something to do with it because I've been there, and that's Seattle. The reason I think Seattle is number 2 is because it's always cold, wet, and rainy there, and coffee just tastes better on a cold, wet, rainy day, which is why I can't wait for fall to get here. So some of the other ones, the bottom of the top 100 cities or largest cities in America was Detroit. And I've got great friends in Detroit. I don't want any attacks. I'm just reading what I saw, right? I'm just the messenger. Locally, Greensboro ranked 94, Durham ranked 88, and Charlotte ranked 50. Boston, you were in the top, I think, 20, if I remember correctly. And I think that's in large part because we are the home of Dunkin' Donuts, baby. Anyhow, listen, yesterday, really special day. For all you real estate brokers that came out yesterday, we had 50 brokers yesterday come out, nearly 50 brokers come out to an event that we held. But it wasn't about having 50 brokers, as we can fill a room, for good quality content anytime. But we got together and talked about the market yesterday. And a couple of things that really impressed me. 50 brokers, or nearly 50 brokers, and 18 different brokerages were represented. Guys, we are trying to lead the way in making sure that we understand that deals get done between brokers and not brokerages, right? Whatever brokerage you're at is the right brokerage for you. I'm at Real, and I love being at Real. It's been the greatest change in my real estate career. That's not what these events are about. We don't even talk about our brokerages. We talk about the business, because deals get done between brokers. Anyhow, listen, great event yesterday. Here's what I also really liked. When we left the event, 24 of the 46 people that were there stayed and had lunch together. I thought that was pretty cool. Thought that was really cool. Listen, so there's one show, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, if I'm kind of just down in the dumps, or just blah, or I sense that the family is, you know what we do? We'll throw on AFV. If you don't know what AFV is, I'm sure you do. It's America's Funniest Home Videos. And going to the dog park segment of America's Funniest Home Videos always puts me in a better mood. I just love that show. So I'm curious, is there something you do to get yourself out of like a funk, or something like that, that you might do in your life that changes your aura, your water, whatever you want to call it? Is there something you do that helps you? For me, AFV is definitely one of those tactics that we utilize. Who here knows Bella and Tim Shaddock? If you don't know who Bella and Tim Shaddock are, you're going to want to go look this up. This is the coolest thing. Bella's a dog. Tim Shaddock is a gentleman from Australia. They set sail in a catamaran from Mexico on a 4,000-mile trip. So you had a bunch of provisions with them, but not on a very big catamaran. They were going to go 4,000 miles out into the middle of nowhere to some island. And as luck would have it, a storm hit him. This is kind of like Gilligan's Island, right? Knocked out all of his communications. So he had no communications. He was adrift at sea. And as he was out at sea, one day turned into two turned into seven into 30, 30 into 90. He spent over 3 months at sea with just his dog and just a few provisions that he had. One of the really coolest stories ever. And so I'm going to give you the end, and I'll fill in the middle here. The end is he was saved. He was saved because a helicopter that was looking for tuna as part of its tuna fleet was out searching for tuna. These people were 1,200 miles away from the nearest land. 1,200 miles. I mean, that's amazing. And they saw a little speck out in the middle of the ocean. You can only imagine how small that catamaran was from the height of a helicopter. Helicopter took off, came back with a speedboat not much later, and saved Tim and Bella. So one of the questions I had was, why would he take a dog on a 4,000-mile trip, right? Well, he did it because the dog wouldn't leave him alone. He found the dog just wandering the streets in Mexico, and the dog obviously was sent to him to save him, because the companionship out there for over 3 months saved his life, right? It kept him sane. So Bella, I shout out to you with my Kaima cup this morning. This cup of coffee is for you, Bella. For all of us that are dog lovers, you know what that means, right? So an old tuna trawler was able to pick him up. They saved him. When asked, how did you survive? He gave 2 answers. One was he did a lot of fishing and he ate a lot of sushi because he lost his ability to cook while he was out there. So he ate a lot of sushi. So he thinned out quite a bit, but was still able to survive. One side note to that, by the way, he would also jump in the water and swim. For those of you that know anything about the South Pacific, quite frankly, it is probably not the place you want to be swimming in the water. Very shark-infested waters. For those of you that don't know the story about the USS Indianapolis, look it up, but it's horrifying. But number 2, here's what he said. He said, I every day looked inside myself for happiness, because I knew happiness didn't come from somebody saving me. It came from the way I felt inside myself. And I thought that is the lesson in all of this, right? Companionship and the ability to find happiness in yourself and not from external sources. Anyhow, great story about Tim Shaddock. A shout out to his dog, Bella. I just thought that was really, really cool. So let's talk about the market real quick, guys. For those of you that are in the real estate market or looking for a home, we had a slight, and I say slight, it's the biggest bump of inventory. And inventory, when I say that, that means homes for sale, right? We've had the biggest bump we've had in a long time, since last February, right? We're at just over 5,300 homes now, right? It went up by 200 homes last week. That's a pretty significant bump considering the market's been so flat for us recently. We're at 1.64 months of inventory, which is the the highest we've been since February as well. But I found those numbers to be interesting. There's not a lot to tell you about the numbers right now. They still overall remain fairly stagnant. I did want to talk to you about a little tip. Sometimes people, when they're getting their house ready for market, they ask, or they're being told, you should plant a bunch of flowers, or you should, all these things. And yes, there's some truth in some of that. If you don't have the budget and all you're looking is for a simple way to add color and emotion to the front of your home, many of you that know me or have worked with us know that our number one tip for that is add an American flag. An American flag, a nice crisp red, white, and blue old house, adds color and it adds emotion, right? Anyhow, listen, I'm on my way to baseball, like I said earlier. Really excited to go watch baseball. I'm not excited to be out in this heat, but if we're going to be out in the heat, this is a good reason to do it. Wish Camden good luck today. I will see you guys in a week. If you need me, let me know. And for those of you that are by yourself this morning, just know that somebody cares. If you're watching this, you're important to me, and I care for you. I'll talk to you later.